the Christmas present that my parents got me for Christmas. They knew I was getting a Tesla, and they got me these all weatherproof floor mats. I didn't get the ones from the Tesla shop. And I have to say, like, they were specific to the Model Y. I don't know how true that is, or if it was just kind of like rebranding from a Chinese company that was selling on Amazon, and said, like, you know, oh, Model 3, and then the Model Y ones are X amount of dollars more. They seem to work really well. They fit really well. Comes with the passenger footwell, the driver footwell, rear seat footwell. That one fits really like a charm. Then it has one covering the floor of the hatchback cargo area. It actually includes one that in that one area that you lift up in the bottom, it has a cover for that. And then it has one that fits the bottom of the frunk. So I think all said and done, I'm super happy with these. I think they're gonna protect the carpet really nicely throughout the winter, which really is a necessity in Chicago. They're really convenient in the wintertime when they get dirty. You just take them out, you just hose them down, and then they dry really quickly. Very, very thankful to my parents for that really thoughtful gift, and it was definitely the highlight of the presents I opened. The highlight of Christmas, of course, though, is spending time with family, and we also had a big country breakfast where we did eggs and sausage and pancake and bacon, and we had some sour cherry and blueberry preservatives that my aunt and uncle sent for Christmas. It's been an awesome day. One of the other things I do want to talk about is just this YouTube channel in general. It is something I'm pretty excited about. I have to say, like, doing hobby work related to any of this, talking about Tesla, thinking about Tesla, creating videos, editing the videos, it doesn't feel like work at all. It really does feel like a hobby that I love, and I'm able to just spend like 4 hours go by like that. It's definitely nice to get that feeling like, man, this is what I should be doing. Like, I have that feeling, and I've been looking for that feeling for so long, and it's always been in the back of my head that, like, I want to do something with film or media creation. This, I do feel like my passion and my love and obsession, quite honestly, for Tesla is so strong that doing anything related to that is just, it's just easy. It's just effortless. You know, going to work, doing work, it's a job. It's like, yeah, you hopefully like your job and you believe in the company that you work for, and that you believe in some sort of vision, or you feel like you're delivering value to either customers or fellow employees, right? And that those things assist in making work more bearable, but at the end of the day, it still is work. It still is work. This doesn't feel like work to me. And sure, if I did make this my full-time job, I think I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm really good with time management and budgeting. And if I made it a routine where I was going to go and do the work for X amount of hours, X number of days, and I was doing it in a scheduled fashion instead of just letting social media and content creation take over my life, where I'm doing it all the time and thinking, and I'm not able to put it on hold or corral it. If I did ever make this full time, I would try to continue to adhere to a work schedule. I probably wouldn't have as big of a day as I do right now, where I tend to work 8 hours. I probably would work maybe a couple hours in the morning, and if it's particularly productive, I might just stick it out until, I don't know, 11 o'clock or 1. And then when I start to lose steam, I'd go work out, and I'd either come back, maybe if I didn't work out until 1, I would just finish my day at that point. Or if I ended up working out at 11, I would probably come back, eat a light lunch after my workout, and then do maybe a couple more hours. So I would envision working from maybe like 7 to 3, or 8 to 2 as a typical day, working as a freelance social media influencer and content creator. That's what I'd like to think. Maybe the actual editing creeps into other parts of the day just because you have deadlines or you're wanting to publish videos X number of times a week. But I imagine I would be able to find that balance of whether I want to have 1, 2, 3 videos a week on the regular, and then maybe I'd have 1 or 2 special projects working in the background that would be longer, multi-week edits, things like that. So all of that said, I think this is something I want to continue to investigate. I have reached out to some YouTubers to see if they'd be willing to meet with me and do a little info session, Q&A. Maybe one of them would be interested in being a mentor. That really excites me. Am I gonna suddenly be enrolled in full self-driving early access program, the full self-driving beta? Probably not. I feel like maybe if I had my YouTube channel more established and I was already considered an influencer, maybe Tesla would want to push that out to me. I think the one thing that I feel most confident in doing the beta testing is that when I watch the videos online, especially of Chuck, I see him driving and he's not hitting the notify button. Like when the car does something really wrong, like he's had it where the car creeps out from a left-handed T intersection to pull onto a busy road. It pulls out, it creeps, and then it stops in the road and then goes, and he's like, oh, it's fine, there wasn't a car coming. And like, no, that's absolutely not fine. That is something, if you were the adult chaperone for a 15-year-old who is on his driver's permit, you would correct that behavior. You cannot pull out into a lane and stop in a road as a driver. You have to look, make sure it's safe. Once you've confirmed that it's safe to go, looking in both directions and then back to the left before you turn, then you accelerate and full force accelerate up to your intended max speed into the lane. You don't stop in the middle of the road. So I think knowing that I am such a good driver and a confident driver, and that I am so anal about just pedantics and logistics and following the rules, and I know which rules to follow, and obviously I bend the rules like any driver, but I know when it's safe to and when it's absolutely not safe to. I'm a very context aware driver. I practice defensive driving. Like, I really think I could add a lot to the full self-driving early access beta program. I think I could train the algorithm to be a really good, really confident driver, at least, you know, helping that. Of course, I'm sure they've got a few thousand people doing that now, but some of the ones I've seen on YouTube, like, they just aren't pointing out every issue, and I feel like I would. Of course, I'm not perfect and I'm gonna miss certain things, but yeah, I'm just hopeful that I can be part of that sooner than later. One other thing is my parents are totally floored. They love it. My dad just can't get enough, and he's not like a gas diehard or anything, but he did just commit to getting this big ass SUV, and the gas mileage is like 19 on the highway, and he towed they have a boat, nothing fancy, but he got an SUV that had just enough towing capacity to tow the boat and some cargo and the trailer. And man, that thing gets like 14 miles a gallon when it's towing. And it's just like, I've been trying to sell him on a Tesla for the longest time. I've sent him that video of, there's a Model Y one, and I think there's a Model 3 where they have the tow hitch built into the frame. So it's not just like a tow hitch, but it's a tow frame attachment modification. I'll put the information about the company in the link below. It's a Canadian company just north of Buffalo, New York, I believe. They do these mods to the frames, and you're on the highway with this big ass trailer weaving in and out of traffic or in a, you know, parking lot, and being quite nimble. And I showed my dad, and he was just fully impressed. And this was about 3 weeks ago, and we knew for sure that I was getting the delivery for about 2 weeks. And now that he's been in the car, he's like, man, I really should have gotten a Tesla. And I'm like, I know, you should have. Like, they're amazing. They're really amazing. And yeah, the range it's something that you have to think about, but so is gas. I think with gas, it's just there's so many stations that you really don't have to think about it. I think we're getting closer and closer to that inflection point with electric vehicle charging. Like, I can get anywhere, but I have noticed, okay, if I leave on an empty charge and it's windy and it's really cold, I'm gonna get 54% of my expected range. So there are going to be plenty of trips when I have to supercharge before I leave. But there are maybe a third of the trips that I do in a gas car where I have to gas up before I leave. I understand that the time consideration is a little different, but here we are.